Gary keeps talking about Donald Trump, so I have to share this story with you. But before I do that, can everybody get up and just stand up for a minute? Got a little exercise here. Stand up. Everybody's not standing up. In the back, stand your arms straight out, just like this. And then start going back and forth. Standing ovation, thank you. All right. Before I get to the Donald Trump story, a couple of highlights here. 90 work hours, 90-hour work weeks, 36 hours of no sleep. And by the way, I just put this together at 5:30 this morning. 36 hours of no sleep. True story, I got about 5 minutes sleep wherever I could, but 36 hours. I'm surviving on very little sleep. I might just doze off right here. Paying staff first. There's been many times when I haven't taken a paycheck. As a matter of fact, company policy, an architectural firm is, none of the partners get paid except for once a year. Staff gets paid first. No vacation in 6 years. I haven't had a vacation in 6 years. My wife really loves me. That's what it takes to achieve the American dream. Now to the Donald Trump story. My wife and I got married in 1989, and I was in New York picking her up, and I had a delay in the flight. Flight from India takes forever to get here, especially for a newlywed. She was not in much of a hurry, I guess, to land and have me greet her at the airport. But flight was delayed. I had about 6-7 hours to kill. Found myself in front of Trump Towers. And so I had just finished reading his book that Gary alluded to earlier, the deal of the something, art of the deal. So arrogant as I was back in 1989, I picked up the phone, called up Donald Trump's offices, Donald Trump Organization. Standing right in front of his building, I figured, why not? What to lose, right? Call him up, got passed on from secretary to secretary to secretary. Now my line was always the same. This is Tony Patel as Donald in. Secretary says, Tony who? Damn it, I want to talk to Donald. I'm only here for 6 hours. Patch me through. She didn't know what to do with me. Passed me to the next secretary. Eventually, one secretary says, well, he's here. I don't see your name on the list. I said, you know what? I'm tired of this. I've talked to probably 10 secretaries already. I've got a flight to catch back to California. Tell Donald next time I'll come in, I may or may not see him. Thank you very much. Oh, wait. I think I have an opening. Okay, fine. What do I do? Well, do you know where we're at? God damn it. Of course I know where you're at. The Donald Trump. Who the hell do you think you're talking to? Tony Patel here. Says, come on up. So now I'm wearing blue jeans, a t-shirt, and I got a bag in my hand with Donald's book in it. Because in this conversation, between secretaries, I finally found a B. Dalton bookstore, bought the book, thought maybe I'll get it autographed. Go storming through the street, cross the street, run into Trump Towers, goes into the elevator. The elevator doors are about to close, and a hand pops in. The security guard says, sir, where are you going? I said, well, of course, I'm going up to, I forgot what floor it was now, 20th floor or something. He says, do you know what that is? Yeah, I have an appointment. So he pulls me back out, looks on the register, my name's not on it. He calls upstairs, can't find the woman that I talked to. I got that close. So looking back to where I was coming from, and then, but you know what, that's just not right. You came that close. So I got on the phone again, called the woman back, and patched my way out, and then she finally gets on the phone, she says, oh my God, Mr. Patel. Now remember, this is a guy that she didn't know, didn't want anything to do with me, suddenly I'm Mr. Patel. Mr. Patel, I'm so sorry I took a bathroom break and I forgot to put your name on the list. That's why you weren't here. Please come back. Now, the Trump Organization is begging me to please come back. This is juicy. So I had to catch the flight at that point. I had to go pick up my wife, and I said, look, I got to get back to LA. I'm sorry that I missed Donald. I'm going to leave a book. If you don't mind, just pass it on to him. I had a card in there, my business card, and it just said, Donald, I was in town for a little bit. Sorry I missed you. Hope to catch you next time. Didn't think anything of it, right? 2 weeks later, I get an autographed book with a note in it that says, Tony, I'm so sorry that I missed you. Please do stop by next time you're in Manhattan. Unfortunately, I have the book. I lost the letter. So, anyway, I share that story a lot. I share it with students all the time. It's persistence. If you have a dream, you definitely need to just keep going after it. You're here for a reason. You came, you took your Saturdays off, you're in this room. It says something about who you are and what you want out of life. You could be doing a million other things. I could be sleeping, for instance. But, you know, here I am in support of Gary. He's done a great job. All of you have taken time out of your Saturday. And Gary thought it was important to share some stories. So I thought it was important enough for me to go ahead and drive 60 miles from where I was. On my way home, I still have to go to Alpharetta. And I'll sleep another day. Sharing the American dream. One thing I have to share with you, my cousin's in the back of the room. He works with Wells Fargo in the SBA division, and he said, "Why are you talking about the American dream? If you haven't figured it out, you weren't born in India." I was born in the United States. Gary didn't know that when he asked me to speak about the family struggles of what I struggled to come from India, from a small farming village in India to the United States. I didn't have those struggles. My dad had those struggles, my grandfather had those struggles, a lot of my uncles did, my cousin's father came from India, but my cousin and I are both born here, so we always laugh about these stories. You know, our favorite thing is, oh yeah, I remember back in the day, in the farm, in the village, when we used to ride to school on cows. No, didn't happen. Just didn't happen. We were, by the time I was in 5th grade, my father had bought his first hotel. And the struggles that I saw as I was growing up was the persistence that he had. The same story that I shared with you about Donald Trump. You know, I was persistent to wanting to go see the man, shake his hand, try to get that autographed book. And so I stayed at it. The same type of persistence when I was looking for a job in the architectural profession after college. I would hound my employers like crazy, my prospective employers. Send a resume and continually call them. And I always got the job. I had people that would say, we're not hiring, but you're so damn persistent, I have to meet you. Just because you're persistent. You know, I mean, a 20-year-old some odd kid is just not going to say no for and take no for an answer. So that persistence, I think, lends itself to looking for work and in business. So the story about my father, you know, since he's the immigrant, he's truly living the American dream. He was almost forced by my grandfather to come to the United States. My dad finished his bachelor's in engineering and wanted to go into politics in India. That was his Indian dream. He didn't have any desires of coming to the United States in the 1960s. But my grandfather, who wasn't educated, who built a business empire in northern and western India, knew the importance of a letter from America. And so he saw it, didn't know what it said, took it to a friend. Friend said, please read this. A friend said, your son has been accepted to an American university. My grandfather's sitting in the family home. There's a courtyard, and there's a bench that sits there. That's where he always sat. And so my dad comes home, end of the day, again, 20-something-year-old kid that is ready for his next party or whatever. My grandfather says, welcome home, sit down, you're going to America. End of story. Aaron says, oh, wait a minute, I've got plans. I want to be in politics. I'm going to be in India. And my grandfather said, no, you didn't hear me correctly. You have an opportunity to go to America. We don't know anybody in America. You're the first person from our village that's going to travel halfway around the world, all alone, with probably $20 in his pocket, to go to a university here. He took the plunge. He came, and then he stayed. Because what happened is, at the end of the first year agreement that he had with my grandfather when he graduated, he says, you know what? We need a refrigerator in our family home. So he stayed a few more months to earn some money to buy the refrigerator. Then, well, we need light bulbs. Okay, work a little bit more, another year goes by. I think we need to add on an addition because my grandmother wants a new kitchen, and that's it. The American kids come in. And so, you know, as we were growing up as teenagers, my father would always say that, you know, our home is in India, our home is in India, that's where we need to go. And I kept thinking, well, yeah, that's the Indian dream that you want. I don't want that, I want here. But we, you know, through all those struggles, my dad had one foot in the United States, one foot in India. And in doing all of that, what he would do is, he would take any opportunity that came along because he wanted that ticket back to India. He figured that one more business deal might lead him back to India, you know, because he'll have enough money saved up to retire. That deal comes and goes. Next deal comes along and says, well, maybe one more deal and maybe I can live in India comfortably in a bigger house. Have maybe 2 cars instead of 1 car. 30 years later, you know, he's still here chasing that Indian dream. On the flip side of that, he's been chasing that, but my cousin and I, and you know, all of our other cousins have actually been living it, because we're building our dreams upon what they built, what they did, what they suffered through. You know, I remember a story in 5th grade. My father had bought his first hotel, and we were doing plumbing work in the pouring down rain. You know, and the story was,